Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Podcast, a podcast that reviews movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 540, and it is your review of Jacquot de Nantes. As always, here's the Nerd Gonna Hear the whole show. That's my wonderful co-host, Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a wonderful, wonderful Monday.
Yup. Still playing catch up, my friends. So we're very sorry, but
This is a pre-recording. Kylie, this is a pre-recording. Kylie, this is a pre-recording. Kylie, this is a pre-recording.
We will be, what's it called? We will be live. I will say, I hope, crossing my fingers. I think it'll be on Thursday. We'll be good to go. We'll be live. We're gonna kick off One Car Wine Month, and then from there we'll have to stick to the new sort of schedule that we've got here. But we'll be back live in your faces on Thursday. Okay. So, I know you miss us, but we're playing a little bit of catch up here. But, Brad, I know you didn't work today. So how are you doing, bro?
Doing good. I did a lot around the house, so caught up with a bunch of shit. I even got a 2-mile walk in and lifted some weights. So I've been busy.
Nice.
Had to fix a gutter. That was fun.
Damn.
Yeah, that was me on a big ladder. So think of that one.
Yeah, we know how that worked out last time.
My back still hurts.
Yep. Hey, it's all right. I was the only one at work today, so I decided, you know what? I'm not gonna be here in the freaking checkout desk. I'm not working. No one's here. I went to the office. I recorded 2 videos for my YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. So I said, let me go ahead and work on that. Cause what's it called? Nobody's here. I'm not gonna sit here at the checkout office just to sit there.
There's no one there to check out anything. So
yeah, so I'm going to the office.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did that. I watched this film. I went grocery shopping. But other than that, yeah, and I had to read. It's the first of the month. There's some stuff you got to do at the first of the month. It's not fun, but it's part of being an adult, my friends. You got to pay bills. You got to fucking buy groceries. Yeah. Fuck, man.
No fun at all.
Not fun at all, my friend. Not fun at all. But I'm glad that we're able to do this here. We're going to be wrapping up Agnes Varda Month as we look at her 1991 film Jacquot de Nantes. And after this, we will not be caught up because we still need to do one more. We're going to be kicking off One Car Wine Month on Thursday as we look at Chungking Express. And yeah, I'm excited for that. Very, very excited. But if you're listening to this, that means that you have already been able to listen to the top 10 movies of 2022 episode and our tar review episode. So if you
both very fun. So go listen to those.
Yeah, if you guys can, please check those episodes out. Leave likes on them if you're on YouTube. If you're on, the audio, listen to them as well. But yeah, man, go check those out. Pretty good episodes, bro. I would say pretty good episodes. We ended up staying up pretty late. We stayed up pretty late to do those episodes.
It's one of those fun ones where you could do multiple in a day. We haven't done those in a while.
No, not at all. But when you got 4 episodes, backed up, you gotta do it.
Gotta do some catch up.
Yeah, you gotta do some catch up. But yeah, Brad, I think we can get into it, I guess, because there's nothing else that we've got going on.
No, not really. I mean, back to the grind tomorrow.
Yeah, back to the grind tomorrow. Well, yeah, back to the grind tomorrow. Yeah, but of course, my friends, if you haven't seen this film from Agnes Varda, Jacquot de Nantes, and you care about spoilers, which once again, I have no idea how I could spoil this for you. The man died. That's like, if you know,
that's the main basis of this movie.
Yeah. So they're memoirs. It's if you read up on the life of Jacques Demy,
you kind of
know this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But nevertheless, we have rules and we must abide by these rules because they're rules for a reason. So that way we don't get anybody in our DM saying, fuck you for spoiling this movie from 1991. I'm okay with everything before 1969, but not 1991.
I mean, it's kind of like Passion of the Christ. I can't really spoil that ending for you. I wouldn't think, but you never know.
But the gist is we have rules, right, Brad? And we must
Like, yeah,
abide by those
so we,
rules.
so we must abide by them and put that spoiler warning right there.
Yep. So
Scrolling
if you
across
haven't
screen.
seen this film or you care about spoilers, then you go ahead and get out of here. But if you don't care about spoilers, or you've already seen this film, or if you know about the life of Jacques Demy, then you can go ahead and stick around. Either way, how any of those options go, this is your one and only spoiler warning, and it is in effect in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And today I'm not going to forget the spoiler banner. So, Brad, that's good on me. I didn't forget today.
Nope, you got it. It's
Yeah,
right
and I
there. I see
think that stupid mosquito bit my hand. But we're gonna go ahead and go through
it.
this.
Sucks.
Fucking sucks. Jacquot de Nantes is a 1991 French drama film directed by Agnes Varda. It was screened out of competition at the 1991 Cannes Film Festival. The film is a portrait of the making of an artist recreating the early life of Varda's husband, Jacques Demy, in occupied France and his interest in the various crafts associated with filmmaking, such as casting, set design, animation, and lighting. The fictional sections set in wartime Nantes are matched with brief documentary interludes involving the dying Demy. That's literally all I got, y'all. Written and directed by, directed by Agnes Varda, written by Agnes Varda and Jacques Demy because she is adapting his memoirs. It stars Philippe Mahon, and cinematography is done by Patrick Blossier, edited by Marie José Audiard. Music is done by Joanna Bronzowicz. I don't know how to say that shit anymore. It sits at an hour and 50, actually an hour
It's pretty close to
and,
2 hours.
yeah, almost 2 hours, 118 minutes. So that's roughly an hour and 58 minutes. Yeah, an hour and 58 minutes. Why am I pausing here? Like, yeah,
Math.
I make movies. I don't do math, y'all. Yeah. But yeah, that's the info, y'all. We don't have anything else. I'm gonna see if there's anything up on the IMDb about this film. But I
Eh,
think I was looking at it, and this literally just says
Does
that these are.
Criterion have a little write up? They usually do for stuff like this.
I'm gonna check that. That's a better source to go and check than this. Because what's it called? They usually have a really nice little write up. But
Oh yeah,
let's see
it's
here,
pretty
Jacquot
nice.
de Nantes. Yeah. Agnes. Sorry, y'all. Excuse me. Don't want to burp into the microphone. Agnes Varda's tender evocation of the childhood of her husband, Jacques Demy, a dream project that she realized for him when he became too ill to direct it himself, is a wonderful portrait of the artist as a young man and an enchanting ode to the magic of cinema. Shot in Demy's hometown of Nantes, including the house, not the
The
hoe,
hoe. The
the
hoe.
house he grew up in. This imaginative blend of narrative. I am so sorry, Jacques Demy. Blend of narrative and documentary traces his coming of age as he finds escape from the turmoil of World War II in puppet shows, fairy tales, opera, and above all, movies. The formative aesthetic experiences that would fuel his vivid technicolor imagination and find unforgettable expression in his exuberant new wave masterworks. Inter, interspersing intimate footage of the older Demy reflecting on his life's journey, Jacquot de Nantes is a poignant love letter from one visionary artist to another. That is a lot better than whatever that sorry excuse of a Wikipedia article was.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. So, with that said, though, Brad, I'm going to go ahead and defer to you first. What are your initial thoughts on Jacquot de Nantes?
I'm gonna get this out of the way already. The only thing I had an issue with this movie, the only thing, is a little bit of pacing here and there.
Yeah.
But other than that, Agnes totally put her whole heart and love towards this movie, and to make it while her husband is literally sitting there dying next to her, him trying to write this and him doing certain scenes. I, yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that. That'd be
No.
very, very difficult for me. I think for most people, but the fact Agnes could do this, that's just shows strength and how much she loved this man and wanted to do this for him. And honestly, there are some scenes in this. It's some of the best stuff I've seen on film. There's a black and white scene and there's red in it.
Oh
I don't,
yeah.
that part right there. That just like there's certain scenes where she goes back from black and white to color, and
Yeah.
she does this and she does it really well. Like it's edited really well, and you're kind of not you're not sure when it's going to happen, but when it happens, it works. And it's like she's evoking something like this is like really a core memory, and he really remembers this. This is why this is in color. That's the gist I got, but it really is, a love letter to both her husband and to cinema, because that's what he loved, and that's portrayed throughout this film. Is the only thing he wanted to do was make movies.
Yeah. We've sat here and we've talked about the last couple films like Varda by Agnes and the Beaches of Agnes, and we're always like, wow, you can just tell like how she talked about Jacques, how much he loved her, I mean, how much she loved him, and I think I was like, wow, until I watched this is when it really sat in and be like, this woman loved this man more than
Adored.
anything. Like she was in love with this man until the very end of his life. To sit there and watch your spouse die in front of your arms die in front of your face every single day. Every single day he's slowly losing the ability to freaking exist because of AIDS. And he's being able to sit there in front of the camera and shoot scenes, talk about his childhood, and be able to just adapt his memoirs as well by being able to recreate these memories of him. I don't know if the artist that I am right now would be able to do something like that. I don't know if I would be able to do that in the future, but I can just only imagine the amount of strength that it took Agnes Varda to be able to make something as personally intimate as this.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's one of the most intimate films I've seen. It
yeah,
is truly a love letter. That's what this is. It is bringing basically, into his life from, childhood up until, somewhat adulthood. Um and Agnes is I don't know. Agnes is directing this, but at the same time, she's literally just pouring herself into this film to make, a recreation as
yeah.
close as she can to the man she loves. And it's, it's out of there. She did well.
That the ending too when he's on the beach and like now I've seen beaches of Agnes and you know how much beaches mean to her,
Yeah.
and just like how she's always lived in places that were close to beaches, and then you have that just that ending where she's kind of singing this song and she's like on the beach with Jacques, and I just oh man I was like this, you can just tell how much this project, just how much it meant to Agnes, but also how much it meant to Jacques Demy, because this isn't the first time that a spouse director has made a film for their spouse who's died or is dying. Um, I know from Ellen Klimov made a movie called made a finished up a documentary about his wife who about his wife Larissa Shapitsko, who died in a car crash, and he made this documentary for her. So this type of stuff isn't like necessarily, new, but it is a very like personal work that I can tell you that throughout this film, I was just like, I don't think I should be watching this, but like, I know that to celebrate the life of this man, and not just to celebrate his life, but to celebrate the love that this woman had for this man, I think I have to keep watching this.
It's very important. It's very important just to see, the love someone else can have for someone. and just to be awed and impressed by it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you only get so much from the documentaries that we watch. We watched two previous documentaries on Anya's, and you get it. You understand. You're like, okay, yeah, she loved this man. She loved Jacques, and then you watch this, and you're like, oh no, he was her world. He literally was her world.
Yep. Um, and dude, I thought that the recreations, like all those scenes, like in the black and white, are just fantastic. I like you can tell from the beginning that Jacquot is like he doesn't give a shit about like this, like other stuff. Like he loves art. Like that's what he likes. Like I,
Yeah, he doesn't want to
which,
work on cars. Doesn't want to be a
no,
mechanic.
he doesn't want to work on cars. He kind of finds like other kids kind of like annoying. Like the first instance, like these kids just ask him to come over to the corner so that way they can measure each other's dicks, and he's like, "What the
What?
fuck is this? Like, what
Okay.
is this?" Which, by the way, y'all, like, I wish I could sit down and tell you that that isn't true, but that shit happens. Like,
It
that's
does. I mean,
that's
yeah,
a kid's thing.
especially before the days of the internet, like,
You're fucking bored, bro.
like, ain't much to do.
Yeah. But like, while everybody else was growing up and they were into like all this like other shit like cars and and like fixing cars and just being hanging out with girls and stuff like Charcot, you could tell that he was just like, no, I care about like the opera, I care about like plays, I care about like music and movies and
I
I
mean, and
I love
it was so cool just to watch him go from like puppet show,
mhm,
opera, and then he finally finds it. He finds movies, and
yeah.
he's just awestruck. He trades everything he has for a camera, and then he realized, oh, this is a fucking crappy camera. So he's got to go back, and luckily his mom buys him this camera, which he still had. He literally showed the camera he had and used,
Yep.
and it's amazing. It's like that camera's got to be like 100 years old.
I wonder if like later on in his life, like he probably talked to that person who owned that store, like their parents be like, "Hey man, your dad ripped me off. Like this camera
This
sucked."
camera sucked. I couldn't focus. Like I couldn't film shit.
Oh my
I,
god,
I
fuck.
did I did like how they showed him during the wartime and
Hmm.
him expressing like during one of the bombings, and it sounded like the Allies bombed their town. I don't know if accident or what, or because the Germans had moved into there. But from the sounds of it, it was really different because the way he said it is like there were bodies strewn everywhere. It was horrible, and I never wanted violence then. And it just reminded me of like Kurosawa when
Yeah.
he was talking about the earthquake, and it was like the
Hmm.
same exact sentence, just bodies everywhere. And you know it, it's one of those things that you can tell that never left him.
Yeah.
Um, seeing that,
Yeah. And it's just and like even then, like even before, like when his grandfather died, and they were like, "Oh, seeing somebody with my name in a grave
who died
kind of
so
showed
young.
me how fragile life actually is," and it's like
Yeah,
you can tell how much he cared about like learning about his existence, talking about how beautiful life can be and how you're supposed to, how like it's such a multifaceted level of a concept, and the way that Agnes just kind of brings all that up and the way that she just like covers it, it's beautiful. I do have a problem with the pacing, but I like this is a movie where I can tell you like right now, like my score, it doesn't really reflect a lot. Like it's just like this is a love letter. Like no
yeah,
score
and
actually matters when it comes to something like this. This is art that's so personal. That's like
I mean, and like I said, there's pacing issues throughout this, but at the same time, it is kind of stylized as a love letter,
yeah,
which I mean, you can't really like rush that. um, and did it take away from the film? I thought no, I just noticed like that there's pacing issues, which
yeah,
generally in most movies there are. For this one, I mean, I can pretty much overlook it for the most part. Because at the end of the day, what I watched was very emotional and very touching, and like I said, it's probably one of the movies with that one of the most like I don't know adoration movies ever made.
Yeah.
She's just adoring this man.
Yeah. Like, you just I think that the feelings mutual. It's like you just come out this like admiring Manez, you admire Jacques Demy, and you just you feel thankful for like them both having this medium where they could express themselves. And like, Jacques obviously, if he would have like finished this movie himself and directed it, this obviously was going to be his love letter to movies, and being how like this is the thing that kind of saved me from like, finding something that I wanted to do in my life. And instead kind of Agnes, what's it called turns it to being like, yes, this is his love letter to movies, but this is also my love letter to the man who's like dying in front of me. And
Yeah.
this is the last thing. If there's one thing I can give him before he dies, it's this.
I'm just glad we live in this universe where he became a director,
Oh
because
yeah.
you can definitely tell he loved movies, and
Yeah.
Agnes found him because in another universe this man made clogs.
Yeah. Maybe Claus, yeah. Yeah, this man, what's it called, worked with cars and stuff. And yeah. Yeah. Threw a bowl at the window, and the
Did
bowl
you
broke.
notice those school scenes? And they're the only three kids with fucking clogs, and it's just
Yeah.
like that had to suck. Like they had got made fun of for wearing clogs.
Yeah. You fucking bastards.
It's like wearing the Shaq shoes. Like you're getting made fun of.
Yeah. Hey, well, fucking man, what's it called? Shaq made a million off that
Shaq made a
shit.
mint,
Yeah. So
and
y'all
they
can
weren't
y'all
bad. Honestly, they weren't bad. Kids are just assholes.
these are just assholes. But Brad, what's gonna be your final verdict on Jacquot de Nantes?
I'm waffling here between an 8.5 and a 9. Um, it is such a tender movie. I'm gonna go with a 9.
Yeah, I'm at a 7.75. It's not the best of her work, but like I said, this is a movie where this score doesn't really mean shit to me.
Not
Like
really. I mean,
like
this movie, like,
it's
what's a fucking score for this movie? Like, it
yeah.
doesn't.
It's personal.
Yeah.
It's personal. It's like you said, it's a love letter. And like when I read a love letter, I don't give a shit what's it called how much what's it called well, no, not let me say it like that. I don't give a shit how much words are on the paper. It means about what's in the content of it.
Well, you think
How
about
much.
it. A love letter isn't made for anyone except that certain individual.
Yeah, so it's
This
only
movie
them.
wasn't made for us. This movie
It
wasn't
was
made for any audience.
made
I
for
mean,
Jacques.
audiences got the ability to see it,
Yeah,
but this was made for one man and one man only.
yep. His name is Jacques motherfucking Demy. And with that said, y'all, that's been our review of Jacquot de Nantes, and therefore that ends Agnes Varda Month. We thank you all so much for sticking with us through this month. I was surprised that you all came out in numbers to see our review of Kung Fu Master.
No,
So
thank
that
you.
must mean that y'all were definitely waiting for us to
Probably,
watch to talk about
probably
that.
Jackie Chan or something.
Yeah, they're like, oh, they're gonna talk about Jackie. No, it's a
Like,
French
God
film.
damn it.
Yeah, but this month is my month. I get to choose the theme because Brad chose it last year. Brad did Dog Month. We watched a bunch of movies about dogs.
They're pretty
And
good,
this month,
honestly.
yeah, it was a damn good month.
Yeah.
And this month, I'm choosing to introduce to well, not introduce because I already introduced him to him. We talked about the Grandmaster, but we're going to expand upon Brad's knowledge on the Hong Kong filmmaker. Excuse me, don't want to burp into the mic,
Get a little
man,
choked up.
bro. Wong Kar Wai. So we're gonna be checking out on Thursday. We're gonna be talking about Chungking Express. Then the following Monday, on Monday, we're going to be discussing Ashes of Time. This is a movie that I've never seen. I've never seen Ashes of Time, but it is one of his different movies from what he's worked on. Um, and then the following Monday will be Fallen Angels, and then of course to conclude the month, we are going to look at my favorite film from Wong Kar Wai, his arguably best film he's ever made, and the one that won the Best Actor award for Tony Long Chiu-wai, In the Mood for Love. So we've got all that planned out, y'all. Our Patreon mini is his American film, the only American film he's ever made. My Blueberry Nights. I decided I'm gonna get that over with because I've heard that it's not that good. And honestly, man, like if I'm gonna do it on anything, it's gonna be on the goddamn Patreon because I'm not doing that shit for free.
Too.
I'm good. But of course, if you do want to join us on Patreon, make sure that you go to patreon.com/nerdcore and also follow us on all our other social media, like our website, thenerdcore.com, our Twitter at @thenerdcore_, and on Insta at @thenerdcore. Tweet Elon, tell him get the underscore out. Give us the Nerdcore, please.
Yeah, the
Please.
other one hasn't been available since
2013, bro.
yeah, they're gone. They don't
Gone,
exist
bro.
anymore.
Yeah, they gone. They gone, bro. Our freaking we have the domain. So yeah. Go and check that out, y'all. Of course, we want to thank everybody who's in the chat, who's watching right now. Anybody who, checks us out on the audio platforms. If you would be so kind, if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, and press that notification bell so you don't miss a single piece of content that drops on the channel. And if you're on the audio side of things and you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, make sure that you leave us a 5-star review. So that way we can apply for Tomato Meter critics, status, because we have some people who actually want our reviews to be Tomato Meter approved, and we just couldn't do that for them because, we're not approved.
We're not approved yet.
Not approved yet. But you can make that happen by going to do that 5-star review. And of course, we want to thank some of our legacy members here. We want to thank our executive producer, Shane. Brad, tell him about our wonderful Shane.
You can follow our friend Shane at twitch.tv/XSRK or on Twitter at ThriftedIL, or go follow the Suppy God, buy something from the Suppy God at President City Vintage in Illinois.
Yep. I know we have some new patrons, so I'm going to shout y'all out real quick because y'all deserve it. And I promise that after we're done catching up, I'm going to know who I need to shout out at the end of these episodes. But thank you so much to Patty Frederick for becoming a patron, and thank you to Jacob Felix for becoming a patron. We appreciate y'all so much, and of course, thank you all so much for being the great people that you are. So, Brad, we are going to say goodbye. We will see them on Thursday when we talk about Chunking Express. But in the meantime, Brad, send them out.
All right, Raul, thank you for being the host as always. Thank you to all those who come into chat today for pre-recording. We appreciate it. Thank you to all our listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, I guess we'll just send our thoughts and well wishes to Jeremy Renner and hope for a speedy recovery.
So, yeah, hope so.
Hope so. And with that, thank you all. Young Yoda out.
Hey, Google, how do you bite a mosquito back?